Hello, I'm Hal Ottaway with the Wichita Postcard Club, and it's time once again for another Postcard of the Week. And this week, I want to introduce our speaker who will be at our Wichita Postcard Club meeting on December 6th, one day before Pearl Harbor Day. Maybe that'll help you remember that. But our speaker will be Peter Meggison from Massachusetts. He's a Wichita Postcard Club member. He's been to our show, I think, the last 2 or 3 years, and we're delighted to have him here to tell about this program that he'll be giving this coming Saturday, December 6th. So mark your calendar and be here about 1:45 p.m. Central Time. Peter, please tell us a little bit about what you'll be talking about, and if you have a card or something you brought along to show us, that would be nice. Take it away.
Okay. Thank you very much, Hal. I am very much looking forward to December 6th and the presentation that I'll be doing for the Wichita Postcard Club and others. The focus of the presentation is the Appalachian Mountain Club postcards produced by Guy Shorey. So let me tell you a little bit about both items mentioned in the title. The Appalachian Mountain Club is the oldest outdoor sporting club in the United States. It was founded in the Boston area in 1876, and it was founded for people who enjoy hiking in the White Mountains of New Hampshire. Obviously, 150 years ago, it would have been quite a jaunt to go from Boston or perhaps even New York up to the White Mountains. Today, it's maybe 3 hours from Boston, but 150 years ago, it was certainly an all-day trek. So the Appalachian Mountain Club has changed over the years. It's expanded. There are chapters all over the Northeast and as far south as the Washington, D.C., Virginia area. It's very active in the New England states. There are chapters in the New England states and in New York. And so members have an opportunity not only to hike, but to participate in other outdoor activities such as biking and kayaking and skiing and any outdoor sport that you might want to participate in. As I said earlier, initially it was chiefly a hiking organization focused on the White Mountains, but that changed in the 20th century. So today it's really quite multifaceted. Guy Shorey, a prominent White Mountain photographer based in Gorham, New Hampshire, joined the Appalachian Mountain Club at age 24 in 1905. He was a very avid hiker, and he would go into the mountains and take photographs. He would frequently go with people who arrived by train from New York or Boston or elsewhere and was staying in Gorham. And after the group hiked and he was with them, he would go over to his studio, which was in his home originally, and make up photographs, which really were postcards, and sell them to the hikers the next day. He continued producing postcards up until 1958. His postcards are distinctive, and we'll look at some of these during the presentation on December 6th. The focus, though, will be chiefly on the Appalachian Mountain Club postcards, not other things he produced. For example, he did a lot of postcards of disasters, floods, for example, big snowstorms in Gorham, New Hampshire, in particular, which is quite north in New Hampshire. He produced postcards of skiing, of street scenes, of public buildings, many, many postcards of mountain scenes. His postcards are well liked because he was known to take pictures from the mountains looking out. And think about that as you view the presentation. From the mountains looking out rather than the other way around. Most photographers of mountains would be on a highway or a road anyway and take a picture of the mountain. Well, of course, he did that, but he was really known for being in the mountains himself. His postcards, as I mentioned, do have a distinctive style. They are in a photographic style. Nearly all of them are sepia or just plain black and white postcards. They all have a white border on them, so they're easy to recognize. We'll have a discussion. Are these real photo postcards or are they just photographic postcards? And you be the judge. There is a distinction between those two different styles. So, as I said, we'll look at postcards of the Appalachian Mountain Clubs, events, huts, which are all over the White Mountains, and some of the people that were involved with Appalachian Mountain Club activities. So that's December 6th, and I look forward to being with you.
Great. Now you brought us along, or you brought along this card of an interior view. Can you
Yes.
tell a little bit about that?
Yes, the card that I'll show you is a postcard of the interior of the Carter Notch Hut, which is in the what's called the eastern slope of the White Mountains, not far from Gorham, New Hampshire, where Guy Shorey lived. And this would be one of the huts that hikers would stay at as they traverse that section of the White Mountains. And the hut still exists. It's a popular hut for hikers, and it's one of the few huts in the White Mountains that is open all winter. So it's open 12 months out of the year. It's it's not easy to get to. It's quite a challenge, really. But if you come up to the White Mountains, it may be one of the huts that you would like to visit, or one of the other ones. As you'll see from the postcard, it really is quite distinctive. It's easy to discern the contents of this hut. Obviously, the interior of the hut would look very, very different from what it did 120 years ago, as you'll see pictured on the postcard.
Great. Thank you, Peter. It is a real documentary type photographer who was really capturing all of what he was seeing and f making photographs of. And he had that captive audience that he was able to run out with his fresh cards, hot off the press, so to speak, or out of the developing tank, and to sell them to hikers who would have loved to have had several to take back to friends to show this experience that they've had. Well, thanks, Peter, and we'll see you on Saturday, December 6th at 1:45 p.m. Central Time. And that's all we have for today, but please join me again next week for another Postcard of the Week. Thanks again, Peter.
Thank you.